we go. There it is.
Mm.
All right, all right. Awesome. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the thing. All right. Okay, you guys. Hey, 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 it's me, Debbie Beebe, and you are on Ice Rescue Team Express Business Zoom. We're here every Monday night at 5:30 p.m. PST. I am so fired up and excited. We're down here in Hollywood. If all y'all don't know, we live in California, and tonight we're streaming in from Hollywood. And I just love whenever I'm down in Hollywood. It's so beautiful. The Hollywood Hills are so beautiful. The hustle and bustle is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Um, I'm excited because of the training tonight. I'm excited because of all the rank advancements, and I'm going to go over that in just a second. And we're going to do this, right? Or however, or whatever you want to do. But remember, it's always so super important to celebrate others, especially if we want to be celebrated, right? Just having that attitude of gratitude for the team growth and for everybody getting out there, even if you didn't rank advance and you had a discussion or a conversation with somebody, shared your story, shared somebody else's story. That's what it's all about, and really getting the word out there and educating people what we got. So congratulations to all of y'all, and congratulations to you being here. All right. I got to pull it up. I'm going to block half of you when I pull it up on my little tiny screen. But let's just give a huge shout out. We had 7 rank advancements last week. 7, right? Oh my gosh, for the few that I can see doing this. Hi, Vicky, I see you. I mean, this is so exciting. So we have, let's see, Amy Yeager has a couple new consultants. Cassie, oh my gosh, the screen's little not Ziger. And then new consultant Kristen Smith. So congratulations to them. And then we have Angie and Kevin McCain have a new consultant, Stacy Morgan. Keep it going, keep it going. Woo, woo. Amanda Hanson, she has a couple new consultants, Ryder Hanson and Tammy Stedman. Yeah, baby. Congratulations. Debbie and Jeff have a new consultant, Greg Stewart. Yeah. Woo. That's awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, Roy Savage has a new crystal manager in the house, and that would be Amanda Hanson. So, congratulations. That is like fire. I'm so excited for that. All right. I have a few announcements, and then I think I'm going to send it over to you, Mr. Jeff Beebe. Before I go into announcements, I'm going to make sure you guys know when you go into your Isogenics back office, and it's really funny when you go to a doctor's, I don't know about all y'all, but if you go to doctor's appointments or hospitals, you have portals and they want you to do everything through the portal. They upload all your images, everything into the portal. You pay through your portal. And every time I'm talking to them, I'm like, so in my back office, so used to saying Isogenics back office. So back office, when you guys go in there, you can go to the top tab. I'm not sure how many in. It'll do a drop down and it'll say manage events. You can go into events. If you haven't got your celebration ticket and all that, we can talk about that later. But what I want you to really look at is the ARE. That's Associate Ran Events, because there's one close to you and or close to some of your teammates or people that are maybe even just taking a look. And these are tools. These are tools to use whenever people put these events up. These are tools for us to use and send our people to. And you can let the people, whoever's hosting it, if you can't be there in person with the people you're sending, you can let the host know, like, we have an event coming up March 29th in Santa Clarita, California. That is just a little north of LA. And you can let the people hosting know, hey, I'm sending some people over there taking a look, and we will make sure that they get back to you or get enrolled under you. They're your people, they're not ours. However, that's how we roll in Isogenics, and we all help each other. So make sure you go into your back office, go to that drop down, manage events, go look for the ARE, Associate Ran Events, and see what's closest to you and or people that you are talking to, and get them registered for that event, and get yourself there, because we're always better when we're always learning. Even if you think you've heard it for the last almost 13 years, like, you still are always better learning, learning, learning. That's how we all grow together. And just shameless plug, send everybody if you're in Southern California or even just California to our event March 29th. It's going to be amazing. We're going to address toxin load, and how it affects our body and our lives. We're going to talk about heart health, and we might talk a little bit about sex lives. Oh, what? Yep, because that's how I roll. All right. Announcements. We have a Global Associates call. That is, looks like March 18th at 4 p.m. PST, 7 p.m. Eastern. And you can go to isogenicsbusiness.com to get the information on that. And we have, this is kind of interesting. They're going to give exclusive business and product updates, inspiring team recognition, and much more. And then they have a special guest, and I posted it in our groups, Christina Gondre. We'll discuss her new 6-week social media masterclass, how to build an audience that buys. So you're going to want to be there and maybe check it out and see if that 6-week program is for you. And I'll tell you right now, if it wasn't tried and true and amazing, Isogenics wouldn't have put it in here. So something to maybe heads up and see if it matches with where you want to go with your business. Product, finding balance. It's so funny in the Leaders in the Loop email, the video that it has that it froze on is Ms. Rhonda Collier's face. So that's fun to see that. But you want to go into isogenicsbusiness.com and maybe look at these videos and watch how it's really helping real women. They sit around and they talk about the new Harmonia. Let's see, what else does it say? If you get Leaders in the Loop emails, they're going to new bi-weekly or bi-monthly. I'm not sure. Are you able to share that and pull it up when I talk about it? No, because you didn't have me do that, but I can try. Okay, and then we've got, is that it? Run to celebration. Oh, yep. Jeff Beebe's going to give you a little clue on that one. And Disney. How many are running for Disney? Goodness gracious, come on. I know we got a couple on here running for Disney. And I think that that's kind of.
Can a few people share where you're at?
I'll share.
Okay, share away.
I am way freaking behind. That's where I'm at. But you know what? I'm making a new manager or 2 new consultants right now. So that's great. That'll help tremendously. And I just want to say thank you, Jeff and Debbie, for, setting the pace, but always, and I always have to tell myself, just get to the finish line. Doesn't matter when, right? When I first did my ever 13, what is that thing called? A half a marathon. When I first did my first half a marathon, a lot of people finished before me for sure. You know what I mean? But I finished, and so I'm going, I'm running. Let's go. Who's running?
Yes. Good job.
I know. I think I want to just call her out. She sent me, how cool is that? Do you mind holding it up, Amanda? What you sent me? This is what leaders do. Hold it up close. Look at hold it up real close so you see all the dots. All the dots are done. She's at 21 points or something.
Go,
already.
Amanda, go.
21 points already. So, it's just making those consultants at 5 points. You enroll somebody 1 point, 5 points, 6 points right off the get-go. And those are the big numbers that duplicate. So anybody else? Running. Everybody's running. So just keep it up. But, Amanda showed up this morning. All of a sudden, what's this I got? Oh, shoot, there it is. That's a leader that's going to be there. So it's like, anything else, Debbie? And then I'll take it away. All right, guys, listen. One, if you haven't seen it, we put it in all the groups, the team t-shirts. Now, make sure you get it now. Even though the celebration isn't for another 4 months or whatever it is, get it now, because then you got it, and you maybe go, oh, this is so cool, I'm going to get another one. And you'll have time. And we took some time to make these shirts. It's not just, pick something out. We designed them for the team. And it has a big difference maker on it. You wear that to the gym, you wear that anywhere. They all ask, hey, what does that mean? Difference maker, what do you make a difference in? It's just like these hats. I get asked every day, hey, that's a cool hat. What do you mean? What do you make a difference? What is the difference maker? It's a difference maker. and it gives you opportunity to share your business. So make sure we put it in all the pages. Ice the Best You, Team Express. We put it in Grateful, Healthy, Wealthy, and Grateful. We put it in Team Express Business. Or what's the other one, Rhonda?
Isogenics Basic Training, love.
Isogenics Basic Training. So it's in all the groups. There's a QR code, and it's a direct pay, and we're going to gather them all. Now we're making a decision. Are we going to bring them all to the event or ship them out? So we're thinking about, so I want to backpedal. We're thinking about gathering all these orders, and you might bring extra teammates, and you might want an extra one. So order 2 if you want. And we're going to have them like we used to. We hand them out at the place, and we pick a cool place where we add them out, and whoever's there grabbing them, we take that picture, and then we take a massive team picture. And just know, if you don't have your shirt, you're still in the team picture. But we don't want all pink and purple and all that. We love it just all that way. So if you can, we'd love that. And so the next thing I want to hit on, how many people are consultants on this page right now? How many people want to go to Celebration? Everybody. And guess what? This company blows me away. They blow me away every second. Listen to this. So if you want to go to Celebration and not pay for the ticket, you want to make your manager bonus if you haven't hit the crystal, or you want to just make some extra money, period. It's a win-win all the way around. The qualification dates. This is how to qualify. Here's what it's called. Run to Celebration, Crystal Manager. Run to Celebration, Crystal Manager. So if you haven't hit manager yet, and like Amanda just hit it, Roy hit it, in those time frames, guess what? Not only you get a free Celebration ticket, but you get a $250 goodie bag with products and stuff in it. And guess what else? I'm like, you got to be kidding me. We were reading this the other day. Your enrolling sponsor gets an extra Celebration ticket and a goodie bag. So it's just a win-win for everybody. And guess what you do with that celebration? Oh, I don't have nobody to take. You invite your brand new person. And if you don't have anybody in your brand, you hit this and you just, oh, I don't know, nobody bring. You look at the most powerful person you have in your life and say, will you come and meet my friends and let them get in that room? I'll tell you what, you take a powerful person and put in that room, they're going to go, holy crap, this is a true business. This is unbelievable. And these are sort of stats. You put someone in a room at a celebration, GoPro celebration, no matter what, this is an investment into your business. And these are stats, and it can change, but they're worth $1,000, if not flipping tons of money to you. They're going to come out of that celebration and do something. Whether they got that go get 'em mindset, winning mindset to win in life, who knows? But they got enough belief from that thing to come out of the gate strong until they get around all those crab buckets in their life and suck them back in the hole. So this is why we, as leaders and people, influencers, and just people that care about people and love people, we're going to get them going. So anyways, the dates are from February. They all backdated it. February 24th to May 25th. Qualifications. You not only you get the goodie bag, like I said, and a celebration ticket to wear in the Rocky Mountains at the Gaylord Resort. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's unbelievable, guys. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Promoting celebration. Oh, I don't know if I can afford it. Well, now you can. All you got to do is move. And if you've already hit it and you're past crystal, guess what? You still get it. Reach down in your team, and this is where you build your business. Duplication. And when you create a manager, you created a leader that knows how to duplicate now. Amanda and Roy and all these different people, they know how to duplicate. I can ask Amanda right now. How many appointments you got, Amanda? Unmute. Let me hear.
Won't work. What'd you say, Jeff?
How many appointments you got set or set?
This week? Probably 3 to 4 right now.
He sees the business. He felt it. He got a paycheck. She sees the results of her clients, the life search impacting. And that's rewarding. They're going to come back and say, wow, I can't believe I'm dropped down to this. Wow, I got paid $500. Wow, I feel good again. So that's the main thing. All right, thank you. And we're going to hand it off in a second. What do you got, Roy?
I was going to say real quickly, if you guys really want to get people excited about celebration, go to YouTube. They have some phenomenal videos on the Gaylord Rockies Resort. I was watching that this weekend with my wife, and it got her so fired up. She was like very excited about coming. So highly recommend it.
Nice. All right, guys. Thank you, Roy. And I haven't watched those videos. I'm going to go watch them because it might be somebody I send out to my friends and say, hey, you might want to get started with us and show you how to get a free ticket to this thing. All we do is help a few people, do a little group challenge. We got a manager now, and I'll get an extra ticket. I'll give the other one to your wife, and you have one, and we'll go. It's the same thing for the Disney World trip. Just ask. One more promotion they're doing I want to talk about until May 30th. I mean, March 3rd. When is the double pibs?
March 27th.
March 27th. So you have until March 27th to get 40% and 40% for your client to get their products completely paid for, to be in the Eat for Free Club. So really realize, listen, Debbie, you're coming in. Listen, the company's doing a nice promotion for families coming in together. It doesn't need to be for you and your kids, but it can be you and your two best friends. And your products are almost 100% paid for. And we'll do a little team challenge. And if you want to make real money, we can make sure they do it. There's about $900, almost $1,000 for you. And your whole little crew can do this. And guess what? We're going to Disney World. And
It's
these will
March
be
30th. March 30th.
March 30th. Yeah. So there you go. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
But I always back it up so it gets you into action.
That's right.
Anyways. All right, guys. It's a privilege to introduce, most of you guys know him from down under, Mark Greer. And not only Mark's been a dear friend of ours, 7 years now or something? I got to meet him. I'm going to tell a little bit of the story because some of you don't know. We were in Vegas. Debbie and I were speaking on stage at a GoPro event. Didn't know him from Adam. Flew over. He was in the business. He's a former pro athlete, soccer player, the real deal, not a fake one, a real deal. And he came over and he looks like me, bald head, glasses. And he came and met me after the event and we teased each other because I asked him what he did. So right when he said he's a pro athlete, I knew I could tease him. And we became great buddies. And I told him right at that thing, listen, I want you on, I'd love to earn your business, brother. I want you in shape. I was flipping shredded. And he looked great, but he didn't look like a pro athlete should. I'm going to be straight up, And so I teased him. And we became buddies and we kept tapping each other, And I said, someday you're going to reach out and message me. Someday, tap. And we became great friends. All of a sudden I got that message. Hey, brother, you available? And my response was, it's about time. I assumed it. And he jumped in. Within 2 weeks, he said, I want to do the business. And he's a 3-star executive, I think, under us, 2-star executive under us now, kicking ass down under. So you guys got teams all over the world now. So whatever he's going to train us on, get your pins out because I don't even ask because he's the real deal. There it is, Mark.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, and just saying about the events again, guys, they change lives. You hear it all the time. And yeah, Jeff and me met probably 1.5 to 2 years before I started with Isogenics at a GoPro, and Jeff was on stage. And, it was, we went to the break and I had my glasses on like Jeff wears, and we had the same outfit on, would you believe? Dark shirts and jeans. And everyone kept coming up to great, oh, mate, at the break saying, great speech. Love what you said. Can I get a photo with you? And I said, mate, it wasn't me. I would have had half a dozen people say it. And one person even started arguing with me, going, "Nah, you're having a lend of me. You're having a joke with me. It was you. It was you." I said, "No, it wasn't me." So I wish it was, but it wasn't. So yeah, it was. When you can see this, that's the actual event. So it's amazing, guys. Events change lives. If not now, down the track. So Jeff and me just kept in touch, and then I got to a point in my life where I said, "Okay, talk to me about this," and then what it did for me in 2 weeks, I said, "Okay, talk to me about the business," because I could see if it did it for me, the old story, imagine what it can do for everybody else. So yeah, so change lives. Change lives, guys. I bought a house through Isogenics, and Jeff and Debbie stayed in our little cottage, and I call it the house that Isogenics built, or bought or made, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's great. I just want to touch on a couple of big promos that have just come out in Australia to the end of March. So pretty much any new customers that spend over 285 Aussie, they get a free pack of beer, right? Which is Mango Mimosa beer, which is awesome. I've put the photos in the page. Also, any new customers that start on a 14-day reset, ultimate reset, or 30-day basic pack, they're going to get their beer, their pack of beer, and a free tub of Berry Cleanse for Life. So it's valued at over, I can't even read the thing now, over $109 Aussie. So it's a great value and free shipping. Right? And Australia's a bloody big country. Trust me, it's a big country. So it's worth a lot of money. Also, any new customers or existing customers and on subscription, if you've got on order any of the Cleanse for Life flavors, so mixed berry or the peach and mango, you're going to get a free berry. Okay, so it's a great promotion. If you know anyone down here or New Zealand, it's a great promo to get them started, or they're going to get freebies, anyway, if they're already on the system and ordering their Cleanse for Life. So I just want to touch on those at the moment. Okay, so let's get started. Where are we? I'll just share this. Give me a thumbs up, Jeff. Can you see that? Okay. So, guys, I want to touch a little bit about this. How many times, and please, I can only see a few of you, have you heard, "Oh, I want to use creatine," or "I want to use this, I want to use a pre-workout," or whatever? What I say to people is this: focus on the 80%. 80% of being healthy or performance is what you put in your body. The other 20% is the activity you do, focused on their goals, your goals. Okay? Because we're all different. You don't want to run a marathon, or you want to run a marathon, you've got to train for a marathon. Okay? So even if it's just walking for people, they want to get generally healthy, that's their activity. When it comes to things like creatine, the isogenic system, yeah, we've got some products got creatine in it, but the creatine on its own as a single supplement is only going to give you 5%. The isogenic system gives you 95% of that nutritional, which is the 80%. So why not focus on the 95%? Then people saying, "Oh, I'm taking creatine or I'm taking pre-workouts." That's only going to get you 5% at max. Okay? Focus on the 80%. Focus on the isogenics, which gives you 95% of the 80%. Okay, does that make sense? Focus on what's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck, right? I want to go through today some new people, or a refresher for others, is what to ask. And we've been through it many times, but I want you to understand, this. This is what I say to people. As we're all different, I want to set you up for success to hit your goals. Not my goals, their health goals. And I always ask this question: what are your health goals? Don't assume it's weight management. Now, as we know, 95% of people, when they get unhealthy, it manifests itself in weight gain. So we work a lot in weight management. But that doesn't mean they might want better sleep. They might want gut health. They might be a diabetic. Okay. All these different things. Make sure you ask, don't assume it's weight management. When I ask people sometimes, I say, "What are you chasing?" I give them suggestions because they might want to lose some weight. Well, what about energy, sleep, gut health, muscle gain, joint support, better skin, hair, nails? Don't forget, that's all holistic health that we can help people with. So don't assume it's weight management. Well, we just, Renee, he's just starting, a gentleman, He just wanted to gain muscle. Okay, and we each had gone down that path. What we found out was he's the same height as me, 6'3". He weighs about the same as me at the moment. He just wants to put on muscle. So I'm a 33, 34 waist, that's 6'3". He's 38-inch waist. So does that suggest maybe he's carrying a little bit excess fat around the middle? And he doesn't have a lot of muscle content. So we're going to do everything for him. And with Jeff getting on board through a three-way chat, he just signed up 30-day system, bang, with the high protein. So extra IsoPro, Isolene Pro and IsoPro to get his protein content up. So again, ask questions. What are their health goals? Don't assume. Okay. This is a big one. What have you tried in the past? Now, I'm sure all of you, if you can put in the chat a 1, if you've had people come up to you and say, I've tried Isogenics in the past. Okay. I'm sure you've had it. Yep. So I'm just going to throw the chat up here so I can see it. It happens all the time to me. I tried it years ago. I said, what did you try? And then I use this wording for me is, look, I don't like to disrespect anybody. We're all different. And I don't know their training, because at the end of the day, if someone's just come in and used the shakes, what are they going to train people on? Just the shakes. And I've had so many people say, oh, it's just shakes. I said, no, it's not that. But, you know, understand, how did you go? So straight away, you know, they didn't try the whole system. So they're only 30% of that 95% of what Isogenics can offer. So you're going to get them better results. Okay, so time and time again, but find out what they've tried in the past. It's going to give you a guide on their mindset. Okay. Why do you feel they haven't achieved sustainable health? In other words, they've tried something in the past. They've tried diets and systems and injections and drops and whatever else. Why hasn't it worked for them? They're going to hopefully be honest to say, oh, I'm just too busy. Oh, I can't stay to a diet. I like my alcohol. You need to find out these sort of things. Okay. And I actually say to people, if you can't cut your alcohol to 1 day a week to 2 to 3, I can't help you. I don't want to take your money. Because I don't want Isogenics getting out there to say Isogenics didn't work for me when they're drinking every day. Okay. I don't want that out there. It's not the Isogenics, the system. We know it works. It's what they did. So I always ask that question about alcohol. I make it 1 day a week if they have to, and 2 or 3 drinks. Plan it in the week if they want to go out to dinner with people, because, you know, I've done many posts on what alcohol does to athletes. Just 1 drink takes 2 days to get it out of your system. Now, that's all out of isogenicshealth.net. Just type in alcohol and it brings that up. It's a clinical test they did on professional athletes. So if that's what the effect it has on athletes, is no different to the average Joe or Joanne. Okay. Right. And the ones transitioning. Okay. It doesn't matter. Right. I'm just joking, guys. I didn't get any smiles from Jeff there. I've got to be very compliant today, remember? But yeah, it's really important that you deal with that alcohol question right from the get-go. Right? Because one, you don't want them sending product back. It's not the product. You've got to set them up for success. Okay. Okay. And this is a big one. Okay. You've got the information. You've got a bit of a feel what they are, what they're looking for. You ask what they do for a job. Is it a sedentary job? They might say, I sit down a lot. I don't do a lot of exercise. You're understanding. They're telling you why they feel it didn't work for them. So I always say this. Okay. Thank you. Do you give me permission to be honest? With respect, of course, because if not, it's not going to help them achieve their goals. They always say, yeah, I want you to be honest. Okay, I learned that from Kylie Donaldson here in Australia, my first conference here, first celebration here in Australia. I thought it was a great comment, so that it opens up. I'm not going to fluff this up. I'm not going to waste your time or my time. Okay, so there's a couple of questions. Set them up for success. Open the right direction for you. Okay, and then what? What do we do? Facts tell, stories sell. We've heard it a lot. Don't be a boffin. It's not going to sell anything, guys. So features or benefit. Put in a chat, just put an F or a B, what you think is most important when you're talking to someone. What's most important? I'm just having a look here. Yep, benefits, benefits, benefits. That's exactly it. Thanks, Debbie, Shirley, Angelica, everyone. Just got to move this out of the way so I can see on the screen. Sorry. It's exactly right. Now, what's a benefit? So again, you've asked them what they want. You've asked them what their health goals are. Focus on the benefits to them. Get rid of this. Okay. Okay. So why is that important to them? In other words, why is that benefit important to them? Find out why. And then that's their why, guys. That's their why. Keep coming back to their why. Because at the end, they might go, oh, yeah, I'm going to think about it, or I can't afford it. We're going to cover that. It's go, well, how are you going to achieve? You said it was important. You've tried all these things. It hasn't worked in the past. I'm guaranteeing you this is going to work. Otherwise, you get your money back. We all know that 30-day money back guarantee. I don't know too many nutritional companies that do that. They might guarantee the quality of their product, but I don't think they guarantee results. And our company does. If they're not happy, they get their money back at 29, 30 days. Okay. I've only ever had one person, and that was because they had a death in the family a week after they started unexpectedly, and they couldn't focus. They got their money back 6 months later. They come back on board and started and got results. Okay. So I've only had one. Right. So it really, if you set them up, and this is what I was saying before, isogenic systems are 95% of their nutritional health they want and performance needs. Remember, Isogenics has a performance platform in the AMP range, pre-workouts, BCAAs, recovery products, Isolene Pro, you just keep going on and on. And as a former athlete, I used to get tested all the time. And I couldn't even have headache tablets without going to the club doctor. Okay, so we've got the Informed Sports certification. It's a global recognized certification. That's why there's so many pro athletes or former pro athletes that use our products. There's no banned substances, whether it's pre-workouts and that. Yeah, it's all got that certification. So guys, focus on the 95%. The individual supplements like creatine. Creatine, you know, it adds a little bit. It helps the muscle recovery. When you put your muscle on the strain and it feels sore, you're actually micro tearing it. Creatine helps that repair quicker, so your muscle grows quicker. But we've got products in our AMP range that's got creatine in it. But some people say, oh, I'm just taking creatine. Mate, why not focus on the 95% for far greater results than the 5% club? If you're an elite athlete, you're looking for the 1% difference. 1%. Okay, so 95% start with that. And that's how I deal with people. So let's start with the 95%. Let's get you the biggest bang for your buck. Okay, then if you want and you're that serious, you can go to something extra. Okay, so as I said, rather get the 95 than the 5. So stop buying your 5% is my suggestion, and start, spending your money where you're going to get the biggest buck. Yeah, okay, so just questions again. Okay, and this is the big one, guys. Stories. Every one of these transformation pictures here has a story. It's a story in itself. The middle picture, you can see the gentleman's obviously unhealthy. Look how much healthier he looks. And you know something else? What's he doing there? He's sitting on a tractor. Looks like he's gasping for breath or wants a drink or something. The other picture, what's he doing? He's standing up. He's outdoors playing with his family, with his kids. That's what life's about. So much healthier, so much more energy. Look at Elvie. Elvie's sort of sitting back in that chair, and look at him now, smiling up. He's got the energy, just an image. It's a story in itself, guys. You could go to all of these pictures. That's what people want to know. I want to lose weight. I want to get more energy. Well, look at all these. These are the people that have achieved that. Okay, so remember that. It's not about facts. They might ask about it. Ask them why it's important to them. Oh, I want to grow muscle. Mate, if I can show you how to grow muscle faster, you're going to get faster growth through protein pacing at the right level at 2 grams a day per kilogram. Okay. 2 grams per kilogram, of your body weight per day. You're going to get far greater results than just having a creatine a day. Okay. So it's a few things there, guys. Just for some new people, again, transformation pictures. We've got a great information page with Amplified Health. But I always ask them, so I can send you the right information and tag you in the right information. I go through, what are your goals? What have you tried in the past? You don't want to put them in there, tag them in some information. It's not what they're looking for. They might be looking for joint joint health or skin or hair? No, you don't know. Ask them the question. Okay. So wake up, everybody. It's your turn. Okay. So just a few things, guys. I'm just opening this forum up now. So has anyone had any issues starting the conversation? What's your response when someone says, like, when they ask, what do you do? I always, it's when you see someone, does everyone agree? Oh, what do you do with yourself? And they go, oh yeah, I'm a tradie, I'm a sparky, a bricky, a chippy. Sorry guys, that's Aussie slang for carpenter, electrician, and bricklayer, right? What do you do? When they ask me, I say, oh yeah, I'm in the electrical industry. However, my passion is helping people become healthy through holistic health, holistic nutrition. And they go, oh yeah, what's that like? So you can see how your passion is this. People are going to want to know more about what you do. They don't want to know what you do on a job, really, unless they know someone in an industry. Oh, do you know Joe Blogs? Right? But they want to know what your passion is. How does that work? What's that all about? Okay. And again, I believe people want to know, will it work for them? Will it work? Well, show them the pictures. And money back guarantee, guys. How much more can we tell you? It works. Just give us 30 days. 30 days, right? And dealing with how much does it cost, I'm just going to get out of the screen. Okay, I can see everyone there. So put a number 1 in the chat if you've had that question, how much is it going to cost me? Anyone had that question? Yep. Okay, I'm sure everyone has. Okay, I always address the phantom in the room before they even get a chance to ask. And say, okay, you're going to wonder how much is this going to cost me? For the new people that haven't been through this before, it's quite simple. Because we're replacing 2 meals a day with our meal replacements, our isoline products, whether it's an isoline plain or an isoline pro, ask them, how much would breakfast normally cost you? Obviously, $3 to $5 perhaps, standard answer, whether it's cereal, eggs, toast, whatever. Just remember, people say, I just have a coffee. Just say, well, look, we're not really comparing apples to apples because you're not really doing that health. There's no nutritional value, so it's not really. But just say, how much would people normally do? $3 to $5. Okay, let's go to dinner. How much would you spend? So you've got a meat, pasta, vegetables, steak. If you're in the south of America, I know it's deep fried, whatever. Okay, so you deep fried something. Couldn't believe in Nashville, went there for celebration. I went to the restaurant with Jeff and Debbie, and I couldn't believe breakfast was deep fried everything. And I tell you what, we'll keep our Vegemite. You can keep your grits, okay? Because I ain't touching that stuff again, right? I'll swap you any day for Vegemite. But anyway, I'm just saying, whatever they do for dinner, it's generally got to be $10 to $12. I know here in Australia, meat's expensive, everything's expensive. You can't get a takeaway at McDonald's for less than $15, right? And if you go out to eat, a single meal is $20+. A steak at some of the restaurants here is $50. So $10 to $12 at night, you add in your breakfast, 3 to 5, you're up that $18 to $20 mark for 2 meals a day before you're eating out. Well, guess what? Our whole 30-day system here in Australia is $16. So 2 meals a day, hormonal, hormone stresses on your body, hormonal imbalances with ionics, okay, supreme. You're going to get your metabolism booster. You're going to get your 4 cleanse days a month. You're going to get some snacks, and you're going to get a gut health product at night with Isoflush. All for the 2 meals replacing. So guys, it's actually cost neutral, or you're going to save money. I know Renee said when she started as a single mum and kids, she saved so much money because she was buying food on the way home. Now she's cooking her kids' meals and she's eating healthier, but she's saving money. So try that, guys. Get them to answer the question, how much you're spending for breakfast, how much is in for dinner. Beautiful. We're going to save you money. We're going to get you 75%. And then obviously, guys, if you want to join the Eat for Free Club, every time you refer Isogenics to someone, we're going to give you 20% of whatever they buy. And they'll do the same. And then the ripple effect starts. So I like the referral analogy because that's what we're doing. When we refer Isogenics to someone and they buy, you get 20%. They do. Okay. And then you've set them up and they start eating for free and getting extra income and so on and so on. And you just explain to them how far that can go. But I do know this. I know the gentleman in Belgium, Michael, I think it is, he said he gives them 2 weeks to get started. Because a lot of people say, I want to try, get my results first. It only takes, well, in my opinion, 1 week and people feel and see a difference. But 2 weeks, definitely. He says, okay, you've got results, you felt the difference. Let's talk about this 2 by 2 and earning income and eating for free. But don't wait 30 days. It's 2 weeks. Okay, so the faster you can build, the momentum kicks in. Okay. So guys, I'm going to open this up now. Has anyone got any other questions they want, or any people come to them with, some objections perhaps? And I'll give you, I'm not smart enough to do this myself. It come from Eric Worry. Okay. So let's agree with them, know what I found when I started, and then you explain what you found. So Roy, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I've got one for you as a professional athlete. So Amanda and I have, she's got a client that has, no matter what we give her, what she gives her, she will not get over the fact that some of the products have sugar and carbohydrates in it. Even though we have talked about it and sent her several different videos and several different posts from the product catalog. What would you say as a professional athlete that maybe she could use to really get, because this lady's a runner, she's not a professional runner, and she's using bro science from somebody who is not a nutritionist, somebody who is not in the health and wellness fitness field. And she has, based upon old school beliefs, she is locked in on that. And it's because of, I think if I remember right, Amanda, it was some of the products, not the shakes, but something else that had sugar and carbs in it. And she was like, I can't do that.
Yeah, so originally it was the shakes. She wanted her carbs to be under 6 grams per meal. And so she was really upset about the shakes having sugar and carbs. And then the last one is she did a 2-day cleanse, and she had texted me and was like through the roof ecstatic about the cleanse and how much she loved it. And that she was going to see how far she could go on the cleanse. And so when I texted her a couple days later, she informed me that she stopped at 48 hours because somebody had told her that it had too much sugar and carbs in it, and that stops the autophagy. And so I sent her some more information at that moment in time, and I have not heard from her again. So
I guess, I totally understand. I call them couch, they call experts at everything, masters at nothing, right? Couch experts, couch coaches, and that's no disrespect. We only all know what we know until we experience more. So, Roy, the first question is, what's the problem with excess sugar, and what's the problem with carbs being a runner? I don't understand. So, do we know what her issue is with extra sugar and extra carbs? Okay, but again, all I can say is don't assume, find out why, and then you can target information based on what they believe. Here's another question. If it's old school science, like I used to think I knew a bit about nutrition as an athlete, okay? My biggest problem when I was playing, I couldn't put on muscle until I went to a naturopath, and he was getting me to have steak for breakfast. I'd have to get up early, have a steak and vegetables. My biggest meal was breakfast. And yeah, it worked. I was having protein. It worked. I did put on muscle, but it was bloody expensive. Okay. All I knew as an athlete was carb loading because I couldn't eat enough. I was running a marathon a week pretty much. So I couldn't put weight on. How many big soccer players do you see at the elite level? They're not. They're built like marathon runners. Okay. So that was my issue. So I know about carb loading. I thought about nutrition, but until I learned more. So here's a question. Put your hand up, or just put your hand up. Who's still using the same phone they used 10 years ago? The same brand? No one. So why listen to old science? It's all science is developed. Technology is developed, okay? So there's an analogy. There is things that if science is good. Secondly, sugar. Can anyone tell me why cyclists and whatever else have bananas in their little pouch, or when they're doing a big bike ride, they have bananas?
Rapid replenishment of glucose.
That's right. It's a simple sugar that the glycogen levels gets in your body. It's sugar. So I don't understand the issue she has with sugar. Artificial sugar, yes. You do not want to add artificial sugar into your diet. It's just not good for you. Carbs, we need carbs. That's the energy. Okay, protein's not for energy, guys. Protein's for muscle. Okay, metabolism, a few other things, but it's mainly to build muscle. If you're not having enough protein in your diet and you're not having enough carbs, your muscles are full of nutrient. Your body will absorb it. Okay, and that's where you said, Roy, about the 48-hour, 2-day cleanse, Amanda. Isogenic says we don't do more than 4 days a month, any more than 4 days a month, and any more than 2 days back to back, your body will start absorbing the muscle. We don't want that. Isogenics is about muscle retention through intermittent, nutritionally supported intermittent fasting. 30% more muscle retention doing the Isogenics Cleanse for Life routine than just plain water-based intermittent fasting. Okay, so for athletes, it's great. And the autophagy, yes, it kicks in. I've actually got a slide that I'll put up what your body's doing through the 48-hour period. And you see where autophagy kicks in. And yes, it stops at 48 hours. Okay, so agreed. But this sugar and carbs, I think you just need to ask them the question, what's the issue with it? Right, then you can address the elephant in the room. And the best thing, get Jeff on the phone or myself or another athlete to explain to them, guys, this is clinically proven to work. Okay, try it for 30 days and see the difference. There's so many professional athletes use the Isogenic system that do a lot of running, that are professionals. The guy here, Leah Dortmund's husband, he's in the top 5 triathletes in the world, and he uses the Isogenic system. He's actually clinically measured with all the apparatus that they wear, all the apps and the heart monitors and all that. His results since starting on the Isogenic system went through the roof. He was nowhere near top 5 in the world. He was just another person doing triathlons, and he wanted to get better, and it just skyrocketed him into the top 5. And he puts it down to just that. Okay, so I hope that helps, Amanda and Roy. I just ask the questions and then get someone else on to explain it to them.
Hey, Roy,
Debbie.
Roy and Amanda, I do a 3-way call with a Zoom, Facebook or something with Mark, because him talking about that athlete right there and him being a pro athlete, when I talked to him, Jeff, you don't understand, I ran 24/7. When you hit that field, all you do is run. So that's what she needs to hear. And when I heard you telling me that, I'm thinking, it doesn't make sense. So that's why you have to ask those questions. So that's fantastic.
The one
and Roy,
thing
just so you know, when I'm working with an athlete, depending on their activity levels, I'll actually get them to have more than 3 meals a day, purely for that carb level. I don't want them not to build muscle or sustain muscle. So it depends. You've got to play around with it, but definitely starting with the system, and depending on the activity level, I might get them to have 2 whole foods meal a day and our 2 shakes and Isoline and Isopro straight after they train. But this gentleman we spoke to, because of his weight and his height, he's got to have 2 Isoline Pros, right? 2 hits of Isopro during the day, and then his whole foods meal, just to get up to his 180 grams of protein a day that he needs to be able to build muscle.
And hey, Mark, what did gentleman you're talking about that we did the 3-way call with Renee? What did we show him at the end that made him say yes?
The results.
Results. Hey, let me show you someone that looks like, he showed us what he looked like. So we just showed him results of people that looked like him. Well, is enrolled. So I know Alex got us. I loved all this information. It's so great. And if you could take that slide and put it in Healthy Best You that you're talking about, fantastic. Alex.
I have the opposite problem. You're not an athlete like you. I'm a type 1 diabetic. My pancreas doesn't work. So when I take the shakes, I shoot for the insulin, right? And guess what? You follow the program, the sugars drop. So I have the opposite problem. My sugars don't spike, they actually drop. So if over time using the shakes, your insulin levels mellow out. And that's what happens with me. And my pancreas doesn't work. So I have a pump that shoots insulin. And I do exactly what the carbs say, and I have the opposite problem. I have low sugar because it's so efficient at what it does. The product's unbelievable. So I don't know if as an athlete what their problem with the sugar is. They're going to burn it off when you run anyway, right? So I'm not a runner, but I just honestly just use a product and it's going to take care of itself.
Yeah.
Listen to the
And
power we have in those two between Mark and Alex, Roy,
Mm.
and just to hear that, dude, I got a pump. What are you concerned about, girl? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's cool.
Well, I'm the same, Alex. I've got a type 1 diabetic in the team actually in New Zealand, and he's a general manager of a company, travels all the time, struggled, with his nutrition while he's traveling, hotels, all that. 30 days on our system, using the isogenic system the way that it is designed for diabetics to use. And for those people that don't know, it's in Healthy Best You again. Okay, it's in isohealth.net. But I just say to people this, I said, mate, this is what I know. The gentleman that designed the isogenic system is a diabetic. And heaven forbid he's passed away now, John Anderson, is diabetic. Okay, he developed that system. Okay, so I don't need to say any more. It works. Now, this gentleman, type 1, Alex is the same. Just say, look, all I know is this, guys. This gentleman, Greg's his name in New Zealand, 30 days on the system, went back to his doctor, and the doctor was blown away with his levels. Blown away. He said, mate, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And now with him traveling, it's so simple. He takes it with him. As long as he's got a 600 ml bottle of water and his shaker cup, he's in business. Okay, and he still has his meal at night with his clients or his staff, but during the day he's having his system. Okay, so for those people that are interested in how a diabetic uses the system, just go into Healthy Best You, type in diabetic, and it should be there, the John Anderson post. It's a story about John Anderson and then the post and how he breaks down the shakes, ionics, cleanse for life, things like that. Okay, so just make sure it's the same products, just used slightly differently. So yeah, great. It's great to hear, Alex, and I totally agree with you. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Yeah, Dr. Jackie.
I have a question. It's Rhonda.
Oh, Rhonda, sorry, I just saw Jackie's here. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, Jackie can go too, for sure.
Okay, so I'm feeling with Amanda, the frustration of, these people who think they're athletes and think they know it all about nutrition. Cause I mean, I'm even a doctor and I'll talk to some people and they just think they know it all. And then, getting them on a call to listen to somebody like yourself, Mark, or even Jeff or Rhonda is like impossible. They don't want to hear it. And so what do we do there? Do we just go, okay, I'm not the jackass whisperer or what?
Can't change stupid, right?
Well, again, I go back to their why. So what are they aiming for? Are they aiming at improvement in whatever? Muscle growth, strength, time, speed, weight. Like me paddling now, I'm actually too big for paddling now. I'm too heavy, right? Because you think about every kilo I put on in muscle, my ski sinks in the water.
Mhm.
Okay, so I need to be strong up top, but not over strong. Well, I actually think I'm getting slower because I'm getting too heavy because I'm just putting too much muscle on. Okay, so that can go against you, right? But you need to know what they're chasing. Okay, and then ask them, what's their concern with trying this, because we guarantee the results, so you can get your money back. You go to there's a big warehouse here. There's supplement warehouses everywhere. There's one here called the Nutrition Warehouse. You buy something from it, they won't give you the money back unless there's something wrong with the product. There's a guy comes down to my gym. I'm with Anytime Fitness, right? And he comes down and every month from the Nutrition Warehouse sets his little display up and all these little shots of pre-workouts and all the latest flavors and all that. And I just walked up to him. He said, oh, mate, you want to try some of this? I said, mate, can I ask you a question? Is it approved for athletes? And he goes, what do you mean? I said, is there any certification to say there's no banned substances in there? He goes, oh, look, I can't tell you. And I went, no, thanks, mate. I won't touch it. Right. But
all that's great, but I don't know how to have that conversation with this guy, And
yeah,
I mean, he already purchased, but now he's listening to other people and thinking that what he knew before he ever purchased was better. So he just kind of wants to do it his way, which is not going to get him the result.
Do me a favor, Jackie. Now, this is probably the ultimate pack we did together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, say whatever his name, hey Bob. Guess what? I just reached out to unbelievable dude. He's even in down under in Australia. He's a pro athlete, former pro athlete. Look at his results. And I want him to get on. I want you to get on him because you got to speak to Jeff. Now I'm going to put you even to another level of a real athlete that really knows his stuff. Has been with Isogenics a long time, and you can see by his results and just the facts. Look, look, look. And I would respect that. That you took the time to reach even up further. You know, to someone even that is a former pro athlete that has the title of it and the results that showcase it. So that's my thought. That's what I would do because, you know, he's listening to those crab buckets now again
Yeah.
that don't have the results that we do. I mean, you saw that picture, that picture he put up. Those are all people that are on our team. You know, so it's pretty good. So Zip, go ahead.
The other question I ask sometimes, Jackie, just ask questions again, is to say to them, okay, no problem. You've got some information from someone. Can I ask them their qualifications? You know, they're becoming an expert for you, but what are their qualifications? Oh, yeah, they're an athlete. Yeah, wait a minute, qualifications, not results, qualifications. Now, you've got a qualification. Yeah, exactly right. And it's the old third party routine is kids never listen to their parents. They are, but they're more watching, learning. They won't listen to your parents, but if they hear it from grandma or granddad or a friend, oh man, it's like coming from, you know, whoever. Okay, so it's just hearing it from someone else, and I'd just ask questions. Who are the people? What are their qualifications? And no disrespect to personal trainers because they serve a real purpose for that 20%. Don't get me wrong. But I know here in Australia, you do a 3-month course, you get a certificate to say you're a personal trainer. They don't spend more than 2 hours on nutrition. Their expertise is exercising, making sure people don't get hurt, rehabilitation, perhaps, things like that. And that's very important in health. It's that 20% part, right? Okay. But they really don't focus on nutrition enough. My brother's about to go for his next bodybuilding comp. He spends more time, I think, on his nutrition, getting ready for this competition. Okay. Now he's got his own trainer, so they won't touch Isogenics. I've been down that path, right? He does it the hard way. He's hangry the whole time. His wife hates this 3-month period before comps. He's a hangry SOB, right? So, sorry, I hope everyone knows what SOB means. I'm just thinking Aussie slang. I got to interpret. But he is, okay. But again, he's got a trainer, and they've found a recipe that works. But man, it's tough. I take my hat off to him. I don't know how he does it. Okay. So again, what's their qualifications? You know, if they're really experts, you took a look at all the experts, the qualified naturopaths, 4-year degrees, you know, masters in nutrition. That's like 6 years. Okay. They look at these ingredients, and if they're worth $50, they will go, oh, this stuff's good. It's the people who don't. So it's again, people will listen to their mates before.
Let's see if we can get Rhonda here, and because we're on the hour, Rhonda.
Yeah, Rhonda, sorry.
Oh yeah, no, thank you. That was so brilliant. And Jackie, showing him Mark's story, opening up a chat with Mark, brilliant. It's always about getting those stories in front of people that are struggling with belief. So thank you so much. I just wanted to ask, who enrolled Alex?
We did.
Yeah, what a story, man. I was just like, what? Like, Alex, I am so happy for you. And I'm so proud of you for going forward and trying this for yourself.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rhonda.
Remarkable.
Yeah. And just for the new people that haven't heard my story, from pretty much we heard about the 2 weeks, the results. My results purely came from the Isogenic system. I didn't change my exercise one bit. That's I know hand on my heart how much it made a difference. Okay, so hand on my heart, I paddle 4 or 5 times a week in the morning, and I gym 4 times at night. Okay, that's just always been my lifestyle. nothing changed until I started on the isogenic system. Okay, so I cut up and built muscle. I didn't change my exercise. So that's, you know, that's pretty much the basis, the benefits of what this system does.
All right, bang it a bang. You got any other questions, Rhonda?
How often did you, just real quick, how often did you say you were working out?
So I paddle in the morning 4 to 5 times a week for an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and then I gym at night. And my cardio is my paddling in the morning. I can't run anymore because of I got a bad knee through football. So I took up paddling some years ago. And here's another thing, guys. I'm 60 next month, and for the last 3 years, I've made the state team in paddling. I've never paddled up till I started. Pretty much when I started isogenics, I started paddling because I can't run anymore. So that to me is what isogenics done. And I use that. I swear by the knocks before I race. It makes about a 10 to 15% difference. I do the marathon. So if I do 15 to 20K races, if I don't take knocks, I'll hit the wall at about 12 to 15K in a 20K race. If I take knocks, I hit the wall about 18K every single time. So it's about a 10 to 15% difference that I find every single time between taking it and not taking it. Okay, so that's the AMP NOx, but that's purely for cardio and oxygen. I can't pronounce this. Oxygenizing your bloodstream, right? So that you don't build the lactic acid up as quick. That's pretty much when you hit the wall. You've got too much lactic acid in your muscles.
See, this is a guy you want to put people in front of. And
Yes.
he tuned us. When he got, that's Knox, and I kept, Mark, you're going to do the Knox. You're going to do the Knox. Just trust me, trust me. He gets on it. And remember, he jumped in. He's a pro. Whatever he does, he's going to win. That's his mindset. And he got into this, and he taught there. It's the Olympic ski. It's not some little canoe. I tried it. He tried to teach me, you know, and it's tough. If you don't move, you're falling over. And but he's racing 300 people. He tells me this is when you know you're dealing with an athlete, Jeff. It's amazing. He goes, I was 0.2 seconds, in the points, like 2 seconds away from being in first place since I've been taking this stuff. That shows you a person that really knows the fine tuning on different. So
a professional athlete, guys, just to give you an idea, if I do a 20K race, I've got to win it by that much. So if I can pick up 1-2% somewhere, that's a hell of a lot less than 1-2%. I've only got to win it by that much over 20K. So it makes a huge difference to pick up those small percentages. But as I said, focus on the 95% first, and then you can start tweaking the rest. So I think we've got a bit over time. But yeah, any other questions, guys?
This will be the last one.
No one. I'm just gonna mention one thing: plant-based diets for athletes. Right? If anyone wants to know a bit more about it, but the summary is plant-based diets for athletes are fantastic. Great results, fantastic. But most people think it's just not eating meat. It is not. It's very expensive. You've got to have a heap of supplements because your body can't get what it needs through just plants. So they take a heap of supplements. They can't eat enough. So if someone says they're going on a plant-based diet for their performance, just make sure that they're doing it properly, or they will damage their body long-term. Okay, so if anyone wants information on that, I can give them some guidance, but please, it's tough and it's bloody expensive. You think if people say isogenics is, you know, a bit more than normal, it's not. Go on a plant-based diet, and we have plant-based products, but it's bloody expensive because the supplements, omegas, for example, most omegas are in fish and meats and things like that. You got to take a supplement just for that, let alone everything else. So just think about, watch out to hear that. Just ask them, are they doing it properly? Okay, and where are they getting their information from? So that's just for people, don't get hurt doing that, especially if you're an athlete.
This is phenomenal. So, well, thank you, Mark. What a phenomenal training. I love it. And as Amanda, we're going to have our newest crystal.
All right, Jeff, one thing too, I can't remember, Jeff, anyone that has in our team, anyone that has someone in Australia that hits the rank to be able to get one of these hats, I'll give them the Aussie version.
Nice. Nice.
Okay, so on behalf of Jeff, me, and yourself, if someone in your team hits that rank, or you, well, not so much you're not in Australia, but anyone in Australia that's in your team that hits the rank to get one of these, I can't remember what it was now, Jeff. It was executive. I'll gladly supply him the Aussie version, which has got the little Aussie flag on it.
Nice. It was executive before, guys, but we brought it down to managers because that's where this a crystal manager or manager, because that's where this duplication happens, and that's where the true leadership steps in of duplicating. And it's cool that Mark is representing our team from t-shirts to everything. And Mark, once the t-shirts are done, it'll be shipped off to all the Aussie team up there, the same ones, difference maker, team. Team Express is big on it. All of us, the mothership of Team Express, ISOBEST U. So, just support the team, order that shirt, and we're doing a PDF, we're doing a file, so we'll know exactly who's ordered everything. And if for some reason you aren't coming to Celebration and you want the shirt, you just need to let us know, and then it'll be directly mailed out to you right at Celebration at the same time, so you can be taking your pictures and stuff like that. But get to Celebration, get to manager, and it's free. And guess what? You're flipping building your business at the same time. And how cool is that? You're gifting your enrolling sponsor. I mean, Amanda, you can say, hey, Roy, pretty cool. You should buy me dinner. I just gifted you a flipping extra Celebration. You live close to me. Come on, I want a steak.
I was going to buy her a ticket for hitting Crystal Manager, and I don't have to do it anymore. So now I got to figure out another gift I got to get her.
She bought you. So we're going to have Amanda take us out. Amanda, take us out, girl.
Everybody
Unmute, everybody.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Isogenics!
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mark. That was
Great
awesome.
stuff,
Yes,
bro.
thank you, Mark.
Great stuff,
Thanks,
Mark.
guys.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank
That was
you.
so much
Mark.
fun.
For the Zoom call.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a
Have a
good
good night,
night or
everyone.
morning.
Bye.